Right then, hello there. Right, so I've had a bit of a disaster today. I have a DJI Pocket Osmo. That's about all it's going to do at the moment. It's my fault. It's not anybody else's fault. But basically, I just want to sort of say how easy it is to actually break these things. Hang on, I just need to get that window back open. Sorry about that. Right, okay, yeah. I just want to basically say how easy it is to break these things. And not particularly robust. And I've just found out the hard way. And believe it or not too hard to break, if you see what I mean. So basically what I did was I broke the gimbal, and it was a very easy break. It was something that you could quite easily do time after time after time. If there's anybody there, could you just pop up in the chat window and just confirm that you can hear what I'm saying? According to my graphics, the microphone's working. I don't necessarily want to just keep talking to myself if it's not working. I've had a bit of problems with the mic. It's very difficult to test it yourself. So anyway, basically, I dropped it. Okay, so it's very easy to do. As you can see in my clumsy, great big fat fingered hands, you can actually see that it sits in my hand very, very easily, and also can remove from my hands quite easy. And it slipped. Okay, it quite simply slipped. All I did was just dropped it. So I'm in my house. It's not like I'm even outside, and I was changing the SD card in that slot there, and I basically slipped and it fell, and as it fell, I don't know how it fell, but it ended up, I think, on its head. So it smashed into the ground like that. Now bearing in mind that I'm on carpet, okay, so it's not even concrete. So I've had a little look at it and I play with it, and I've done a little bit of looking online. Now, when you get a problem with one of these, this is what happens. First of all, I'll fire it up and I'll show you what happens when you get a problem with the gimbal. So as you can see there, a bit out of focus. Okay, thank you, Yorkshire Drone Seekers. I can hear you. That's very good of you. Thank you for letting me know. And Drone Journey, hi to you back there, my fella. Hi there. Right, so basically when you get when you switch it on, you basically get a message, which that's really not showing up too well, is it? No. Okay, but a message, you can see the thing shutting down. So the message says gimbal protected, reset. So what you do is once you've got it switched on, what you do is you just reset the gimbal by pressing that square, and when anything goes wrong, that usually resets it. It all flips around and recenters and completely gets itself back together again. So that's not happening. So it's done something inside. Now what I can feel when I do it, now it's switched off, what I can feel is it's very stiff. Like it doesn't turn that well, and it clicks basically on the axis. Okay, I don't know if you can hear that. Let me do it by the mic. Should be able to hear that. So what happens, I don't know quite how that's done that, but somebody said if you pinch them, it releases it, and I can hear that it has released that. So I've tried to pinch this, and I've given it a real good, like, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's broke. So if I break it even more, I haven't really broke it. So basically, all I'm doing is pushing that, and I'm quite happy to do it online live and show you. And for some people, this has worked. Now, I'm talking about when the gimbal goes wrong when you haven't dropped it. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is pushing the pin so that it spins more freely and it goes past that click. Okay, so when it goes past that click, that has worked for other people. I found that on forums, and basically, hi Drone Journey, hey man, see you, yep, he's on it, yeah. So basically, to free that up, so I tried it, didn't work. So then I've gone one better, and I've tried my hardest to see where it clicks when it goes on there. But first of all, let me show you what happens when it starts up. So as you can see, it's quite free. All right, it's spinning quite nicely. It's spinning there as well. That gimbal part of it's all working nicely. That's good. And that'll do that. Okay, so when you switch it on, goes through the process and then sticks. Okay, then I'll get my message. Okay, so I decided to be heavy-handed with it. Someone's just mentioned get a hammer. I don't think that'll fix it, but I did think about it. Now, what I did was I decided to find out, because obviously the gimbal only goes as far as that. Okay, so I tried to find out what happens. Well, I've managed to get it to turn all the way around now without stopping. So basically, I've knackered it like that. As you can see, it's trying to spin back. So there is some sort of a spring in there. So I'm thinking, okay, go the other way. So I've managed to turn it, and I can feel a grinding. I don't know if we can. I'll hold it to them what you can. When it's free, which is there, it's quite smooth. Okay, and then I'll get to this part here. Okay, so that's why it's getting stuck. So it's getting a bit of a grind, but I took it to that part. It works as a rubber cap. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Wrestler Mania, nice tip. I can see that. Right, drone seekers. No, you can recalibrate, which is what that thing is on the screen when I showed you that square. So basically, I push that and it doesn't recalibrate. I've plugged it into, people say plug it into your phone and then do the resetting inside that. So once you put your reset inside in the Mimo app, it's supposed to fix it. It doesn't. It does exactly the same thing as what it does here. So basically, it still stops because it's not quite a 360 gimbal. It's about a 330 degree gimbal. Okay, so that works okay. That works okay there. But when you fire it up, what's happening is it's getting stuck. Where I've gone too far with it, and that grinding, it's getting stuck. But when it wasn't, when I didn't, when I didn't go too far, it was getting stuck on that bit, and I tried to pinching the axis motors together, and that didn't work either. So basically, I'm now left. So it tries to start, then starts up with the DJI. You get the DJI. Hang on a minute. Let me just change the settings on this camera. Let's go to autofocus, and then that might. Right. Oh, we got autofocus. Right. Okay. Let's try it. Right. So let's have a quick test run on the autofocus. So. There we go. Right, okay, so I'll start it, I'll push the button and I'll start it up for you so you can see what's going on. in case you've got an Osmo and yours isn't doing this, which is a wonderful thing. Okay, so there we go. And I want to focus, does it? But as you can see, it's just shutting down. So basically, let's just try this. Right, that's me completely out of focus. I just want to show you this. Gimbal protection. Tap to resume. You tap, and the gimbal doesn't do anything because it can't. Hang on, let's get me back in focus. Right, so basically, I'm stuck. So it can't work. Anyway, I've tried everything. I've tried moving the gimbal around a bit further. As you can see now, it's not wanting to spring back, so I've got it back to where it should be. But my problem is, use it as a doorstep. Yeah, I'm gonna, Brian. I'm gonna either that or as a straight line edge. You know, when I'm drawing something. So that is it. But what I'm gonna keep it because I have had to order another one, and there's not many in the UK at the moment. And I've got a job on next week that's going to require it. So I need to basically have another one. Curry's are probably the only place I've found one in the UK. The guy I usually get all my stuff from hasn't got any in stock. He's waiting for some. And then basically that's it. So I've had to order another one. I've got to pick it up from Curry's tomorrow. It's going to be delivered to the store. I did think about how easy that was to break, to be honest with you. Should I get another one? And I nearly thought no, but I bought a lot of accessories for this to make my life easy when I'm doing it. I can show you the accessories if you're interested while I'm at it. But basically, that's it. It's at it. It nearly starts, it nearly gets to the point where it wants to kick in, but it doesn't. I'll show you some of the accessories if you want. I've got some. This is quite a good one. I like this one. This is a car mount, and this is quite good because I've got a video, a route that people will need to follow, so it's going to be easier to stick the Osmo on there. I went out for a test run and done some night shooting the other night, and that worked out quite well. But it's a free sucker mount. The rope, yeah, it is forked. You're right, Brian. Yeah, right. The rope on there goes through my window in case the stucker's come undone and it falls off the top of the roof. So basically, the rope is a technical safety net, which you can see in that. So it's not very technical, but it works. But the Osmo's quite good because when you've got the bracket on there, the bracket fits onto the bottom of the Osmo. Well, I have the Wi-Fi module on there, and then I have the other bracket that sits on the Gopro mount, and that sits on there like that, which then goes onto another mount. It's actually quite interesting. I might show you it actually while we're online. I'll show you it. Quite an interesting setup. Dig deep in this bag. I'll put it together, show you it. It don't take long. So I basically have a friction mount, which has done a runner. There it is. Right, okay. I just need to get a couple of bits more together. It's quite an interesting way this works actually, and it looks quite good on the car and gives a really nice piece of footage. I also Bag of tricks. Nothing technical, but a serious bag of tricks. I use a 360 camera. Yep, I like that. They are quite good. I've got the Samsung Gear 360 myself. So we're both technical with that. Right, okay, so this is a great, I think I paid about £13, something like this for this friction mount. It's really good. It's got 1/4 inch threads on the side, and they move anywhere you want them to move, so you can have anything. This is what I used the other week when I put my Samsung Gear 360 on the bottom of my drone, and did a 360 video. Right, so I'll be very crude with this and very quick with it. Basically, I've got this little adapter. It's a 1/4 inch thread, female to female, and that does up on that. I didn't get I didn't get the let's turn a bit around there like that. Okay, I didn't get the thread, the female adapter, put it on there like so. Like that. I'll just leave that dangling about a minute until I get the Osmo ready, and then I get the pocket, get the mount. This is what you get in the expansion kit. So you get the dialy doodah thing, the smooth gimbal, which I don't ever use. You get that, and you get the Wi-Fi module. So I then put the Wi-Fi module on the bottom of the pocket. Okay, so that's now going to give me my connection to the phone or to the iPad. Okay, so when that's in the car, the iPad is on, and the person controlling the camera can use the iPad to control it, to get the angle of what they want. So that basically is your Wi-Fi module onto that. Then you've got your bracket. Okay, so you get your bracket with this, and that fits onto, it just wraps around basically. I'll put it on, it's easier like that. And it basically just wraps around, fits on, and closes up. And you've now got your GoPro connection. Okay, so basically that's it. So that's now going to sit like that. So I now get my GoPro mount, okay, like this, and attach it to the friction arm. Okay, so basically you just do that up like this, get it where you want it, and make sure it's done nice and tight. So if you can imagine that this is going to be on the car somewhere, okay, so that'll be on the roof, right at the front. And the good thing about this particular mount is that if you've got a slanted roof, it don't matter, because these feet all move, so you can get a really nice good tight suction on it. Okay, so now I make where I want it. So if I wanted to have it straight up in the air, I can do. I don't particularly do that. What I do is I'll put a foot at the front like that, and I'll turn that and I'll place it like this. So I've got my little holes in there. So I then got the Osmo sticking up like that, and I'll get something like that. So it's on the roof, and it's now pointing in forwards and like that. If I want to, that gives me the chance to make it shorter, make it longer, and like that. That's why I set it up that way. So then I'll just do that bracket up there, and that makes it all nice and tight. Bearing in mind this is going to be a bit crude because I'm doing it on my leg. Just give me a sec, and I'll tighten this up and show you what it all comes out like. So there you go. So now it's all tight and it's all this. But if I want to loosen that, if I want to I'll just loosen that bracket there, and I then move it up and down if I need to or want to. So basically at this point I now attach, let's do that up a bit more. I now attach the Osmo to the bracket, okay, like so. So that goes in there, like that, okay, and then I'll get the bracket, the pin, stick it through, Easier said than done. There we go. I was having a bit of a moment there, lads. Right, okay, so now it doesn't matter that the Osmo's a little bit slanted, because once it's on the roof, I can either adjust it with this pin here to make it tilt forward a little bit by undoing it, or I can adjust it by the arm. So if I undid the bracket there, I've got a couple of choices. I can just do that, and now I've got a completely flat Osmo, or could have done it the other way. I could have done it the other way by changing that. Anyway, it's all very crude because of me just literally putting it together, but I'm sure you get the gist of it. And that then sticks on the roof of my car, and I can then go through, like I've got to, this particular job, I've got to drive quite a few miles showing a route from a train station, believe it or not, to a field, because it's for a festival. And then the field is going to be shown with the drone, you know, the out surroundings. So basically that's what that's going to be used for this week. Okay, so that's quite a useful bit, except that Osmo ain't going to do nothing but, as someone said, a doorstop. So I've then got that connected with a passenger in the car who's controlling it via the iPad, connected to the Wi-Fi, literally on the roof of the car, and they can turn the camera, do whatever they want with it, or just keep it flat, do active track with it, and all sorts of bits and pieces. So that works really, really well. So that would work, and it did work the other day. I don't know if you look somewhere on the it was the last couple of uploads that I did. I've actually done a demonstration of a motion hyperlapse with the Pocket. It lasts about 20 seconds, something like that. It took me about 30 minutes driving around to give 20 seconds worth of video in time-lapse mode. Very, very good, very effective. So that's that particular adaptation and particular way that I operate there. Now, bearing in mind that I'm using a Gopro Mount here, that is quite good in terms of the fact that that also works as a chest mount. Okay, so I've got I've got quite a lot of accessories in here. Before this, you see, this is why I quite like the Pocket. And before, you know, I actually had a Zion crane, which is here, which I keep in this bag. Everything goes. So I've got the Zion crane. You see, now the Pocket is very, very easy to adapt. Instead of carrying this great big lump around, it doesn't hurt your arm so much. So that's basically why I wanted a Pocket, to change that. But what I've also got is I've got the chest mount, which is there, and that's just basically slides in, wears over, and you can wear it there as an Osmo carrying around. I've also got the headband, so you can put it on as a headband sort of thing, and then this bracket attaches to your head, so then you've got it as a camera on your head. This is what I'm trying to dig out. It's a Skyreach bracket, so I've modified it a little bit because I don't like the idea of having my phone sat in the bracket and the Osmo itself. So what I've got is an additional bracket, which is this two-wheeled thing here. Okay, this comes attached to this phone bracket. Okay, and I've got an accessories mount on the top, so it's 3-point hot shoe. Okay, so basically what this does is I've made it so that I don't have to have the phone connected to the Osmo. I don't like this brackety gadget-me thing that you get with it that makes you, let's get this off a sec. Just take that off. That's it. And again, you know, you don't need the Wi-Fi module obviously if you're plugged in. So we're back to the Pocket being, you know, do you control your drones while use of electric butt plug that you insert in butt plug and squeeze cheeks to control? Is that where the butt plug is attached? Yeah, not quite sure where you're coming from there, Mick. Yeah, butt plugs. Not really into them myself. You might be, but unfortunately I'm not. There we go. Right. Sorry, Mickey. Not into butt plugs. Right. So, if we're going to get people chatting like that, then I'm going to get rid of the window, I think. So, let's just get rid of the window. There we go. Okay. Right. So, moving on to back to this. Sorry about that. So back onto this. Basically, so the Osmo sits in there. Okay. Now I'm just going to do this and handle out. There's the 360 there. Getting all the gear out today. This was only going to be a quick video. There's the Samsung 360. Okay. Right. Let's put that back away. Don't need that. I'm not talking 360s today. There is a video with it attached to the H520 on there. Talking of the H520 buffer cage comes out tomorrow. And one will be on its way to me, so I'll be doing an unboxing with that, and also a fitting. It's a cage which fits around the H520 and the H Plus, and you've got a top, middle, and a bottom section. So if you want to, you can just have a really nice little bumper cage at the top. So using 1/3 of it, it's very, very light indeed. There we go. Right, okay, there we go. Handle. So I'm actually using my Zion crane handle, so it doubles up as a stand. Okay. But it's got your quarter stand there. So that then screws onto this. Okay. That then screws onto that like that. And your phone goes in there like this. Quite simply in there. It's quite a good setup with this. So, and the reason I've got that extension on there is because that now gives me the distance from the iPhone to the Osmo handle. So now, okay, so you get basically with the Osmo, you get like this comes out. And you get an iPhone Lightning adapter that goes in there, and you switch it in. Yeah, it's a fantastic piece of kit. It really is. That's why I've just bought another one. I'm just answering Brian there. He's put a message up. Is it man enough to do the job? Because you can't see the message anymore because I've removed them. Basically, yeah, it's really good. But you know, obviously, it don't like being dropped on its head. Not many things do like being dropped on the head, but there you go. So anyway, so you slot in there the iPhone Lightning adapter that comes around. You're supposed to plug your phone into that, so it goes like smack straight into it. Okay, I'm not going to bother getting all that out because that's buried that little bit of adapter. So that then you then put the Osmo in there, and then just to show you, you then get a lead to go from there into there. Simple, isn't it? Now I've not got to walk around with my Lightning connector into the side of the Osmo. So I've reduced my chance of damaging. Plus now what that does give me is the relief for audio, because the audio on the Pocket ain't great. So what I can do is I've got a lapel mic that I can plug in through there, or I can use my dead cat, which, you know, sits on there. I'm just going to slide it on. That sits on there like that, and then you get the lead that comes out the back of it and goes into the iPhone. So then you've got a really nice road mic that sounds really, really nice while you're walking around vlogging, or if you're interviewing with someone. It's very simple. You just pull it off, turn it around, slide it on, and then just quite simply do it up. So all depends what you want to do with it. So for that sake of that, that's now on there. The dead cat's on it. It's on there. The lead is, because you have to get yourself a few leads with that. You don't just, you've got to get the one that's compatible with the iPhone. So with that particular lead, you get, when you buy the Rode mic, you get this one. Okay, which is 2-pin. Okay, it's only 2-pin. Okay, and that doesn't work with an iPhone. Won't work. You need 3-pin. So you get your lead that comes with the iPhone, which is your audio adapter into Lightning. And then you have to go and buy this little beaut. Okay, this one, which is a grey plug, one end, black the other end. So it's got 2 on here and 3 on there, as you can see. And about £8. But so you've got 3 on there and 2 on there. See the difference? Okay, so this won't work. So the lead that you get with a Rode mic won't work with an iPhone unless you buy this adapter. So then you have to go and get yourself a one of these. So it's like a female adapter all the time. So you plug that twin into there. You then plug that twin into there. And you then plug the grey end of this lead into the Lightning adapter. See? And then you plug the Lightning adapter into the phone. So plug in that one into there, and then if you want the Rode mic to work now, you can just tidy that up a little bit. I'm just going to shove it in there for quick speed, and we've now got a high quality sounding microphone that, if I'm using the Osmo as the video source, okay, and the only reason I would use a video source as opposed to my phone in this situation is to make sure that I had really good active track. Okay, was to make sure I had really good active track. Okay, right. Well, I wouldn't carry my Mavic Pro because the Mavic Pro is an absolute bag of tush. I'm just answering your question there, Brian. The Mavic Pro, I use my Mavic Pro as a doorstop. I also use it to put on my Wirral cam when I'm flying through woods, because I don't care if that smashes into a thing. The Mavic Pro's picture is absolutely disgusting. It's not a professional item at all. It's an absolute. It's been really renamed badly. Pro is not an operative word. Okay, so I have got a Mavic Pro, but it is a complete and utter bag of, and it's probably had no more than 5 hours flight time, maybe 10 at a push. There you go, 10 hours flight time, but it's a bag of. I use it for land gimbal, but now I've got this, I ain't. But my iPhone is the one forward. The iPhone is the phone, is the way that I would video, because I've got 4K 120 frames on the iPhone. Fabulous. 1080 I can video in 1080 is 240 frames, so big difference. But the Pocket is good for active track and good for gimbal. Now I've just ordered a Z-axis for this. Okay, so I'm going to get something that takes out the bounce. So anyway, so as you can see, I've got the mic, and it's quite light. It's a very light system, very, very light indeed. And like I say, I've got full control over the video if I want. But I will run this as sound audio into the iPhone and have this really crystal clear sound. So the video's coming from the Osmo. So that's that set up. And then if I need a bit of lighting, I have got a 32 LED light. As you can see there, that then slides onto this. Again, everything just attaches to that really, really well. So now I've got some lighting if I need to put some light on the subject, and so on and so forth. And then I've got something else that goes on in there if I need that. So, or I can put the Osmo on that bit there and do away with this. There's lots of bits and pieces you can add to it. If I then obviously need some charging, if I'm running out of power, I can run this into my 20,000 amp power bank, and that will just charge it up as we're going along. So I don't run, this will do the Osmo about 9 charges, something along those lines, about 9 charges. It will do me phone 7 charges, so it's enough to keep that, and on average you get just over an hour charge out of the pocket. So that's me set up from that. So quite a bit of difference from the crane, but if I need the crane, then I've got it with me, and I use that, and I love that Zion crane. It's really good. A friend of mine will be coming on soon, Simon Sly Fox. He's gone and got himself a Sony A7 Mark III and the Ronin S, and we're going to be talking about that. I've seen that operating. That is some sort of gear. That is top. Total misrepresentation. It is, Brian. It is absolutely nonsense. It really is. It's a pile of tush. I don't even want to talk about it. It doesn't even warrant the breath that I want talking about it. It's an absolute bag of. So I don't want to talk about it. That on an elastic band flung through the air would be a better. That would get a better picture than what a Mavic. If you just threw it through the air, and to be honest with you, I could throw that through the air now, couldn't I? Anyway, so that's that malarkey all done and dusted. I've got a bag full of stuff here that I use for doing all of my interviews and vlogging and stuff like that. I don't do a great deal of vlogging. I'm only really getting into these lives, and I decided to do a live today about this because I just wanted to have a chat really. I was sitting there getting bored, and I just thought to myself, just pop up a live video, have a chat, get some guys in there and have a bit of chatting going, which I really, really appreciate you chaps coming in and talking nonsense with me. I really do. So I'll probably forget about it now for the time being. So I'll pick up the new one from Curry's tomorrow, and then continue on with it. Quite what I'm going to do with it, I don't know. Probably get some... I'll probably take it apart in actual fact, because I can't ruin it, can I? I might take it apart, try and get the battery out, then I've got a spare battery. At least I can try and salvage something. I saw someone do a strip down of one of these and they completely ruined it once they stripped it down. So it's just a case of like, if I can take it apart. I had a look at DJI Refresh, well, just called the Osmo Shield, and I was going to take it out, and then when I told them I was from the UK, they went, not available. So anybody in the UK who wants to shield that, protect it with insurance, they can't. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Nonsense. Anyway, I line them up, you knock them down. I will do, Brian. Yeah, you stand them up, and let's bowl them out. Yep. Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and thanks everybody that's popped in. And what I'll do is I'll try and get Simon on the line later, and see if we can go live and chat about the Ronin S, because that is a bit good. Simon's been in Hong Kong for 4 months, and he came back a couple of days ago, and I went round to see him yesterday, and I've got to admit, that Ronin S, if you've got some gear to go on it, it is the one. That is the way forward. Anyway, all the best. Thanks very much for tuning in. Brian, thanks for the interaction. Appreciate it. And I'll see you all again. everyone, and Drone Journey. Thanks for popping in and commenting as well. And we'll see you later on. All the best. Take care. Cheerio. Bye.